Let's look at question 8 in our general physics examination revision classes. Question 8 here says an arrow is shot horizontally from a height of 4.90 meters above the ground. The initial speed of the arrow is 45.0 meter per second. Neglecting friction, how long will it take the arrow to hit the ground? A. 9.20 seconds, B. 6 seconds, C. 1 second, D. 4.1 seconds, E. 4.60 seconds. So let's solve this question here. So first things first, let's take down the solution for question 8. So solution here, solution. Let's solve this question. Okay, so first things first, they said an arrow is shot horizontally from a height. All right, let's create the height and let's try to shoot the arrow horizontally. I'll have this, I'll call this my ground level, this one here. Okay, just to show it's a ground level, I'm going to do this. All right, so let's try to shoot the arrow horizontally. So from here, let's say this is the arrow being shot horizontally like this. All right, so trace this downward. This should go this way, just like this, and go downwards up till it hits the ground. So, yep, somewhere around here. All right, so we have this. So the arrow moves horizontally, is shot horizontally, and of course, to take this trajectory and it goes down. Okay, so they said the height there is 4.90. So that means this is h equal to 4.90 in meters. What's the velocity? 45.0. So this is 45. Let's call this u. Initial velocity u is equal to 45 meters per second. All right, so we have this. They're asking for the time. How long, that's time, will it take the arrow to hit the ground? So t, it's equal to unknown. So how do we solve this question? So we have this diagram here. Now, I'll be showing you two different methods with which you can solve this question. Let's look at method one. So let's look at the first method of solving this. Let's look at method one. Now, for method one, I'll be using the concept of projectiles. And how do I do that? For this question here, we're asked to find the time it takes from this point up to this point here. Let's call this point A, ground, point B here. This is point B. We'll call this point B. I will call this point C. Basically, you're asked to find the time it takes to move from point B to point C, basically. Now, what do I have here? I have the height, which is this point here. Again, I said what you have here is literally half of a trajectory. And if that is true, that means if I should trace this downward, I'll be having something of this nature here. Now, what this means is that point B is your maximum height. All right. Point B is the maximum height. And let's recall the formula for maximum height. Recall, this is method one. Okay. Recall that the maximum height, H, or let's H max, which is H here, is equal to, your formula is u squared sine squared theta all over 2g. This is the formula to get maximum height. But if you look at this, you can see that the value of u is given, which is initial velocity 45. The value of theta is not given. So let's find theta first. Now, to get theta, we'll simply impute value h, which in this case is the height here, is 4.9. So we have that 4.9, which is h, is equal to u squared. What is u? The value of u is 45. So u squared becomes 45 squared. So 45 all squared sine squared of theta. The value of theta is unknown. Then divide this by 2g. Divided by 2 times g. What's g there? 9.8. So we have this. Let's impute values. To solve this, all I have to do is cross multiply. This is all over 1. So this times 1 becomes 45 all squared sine squared theta. This, of course, times 1 will give you itself. It's equal to this times this, which is 2 times 9.8 multiplying what I have here, which is simply 4.9. Now let's solve this. Let me get 45 squared. If you take 45 squared, what you have there is 2025. That's 45 squared into sine squared theta is equal to 2 times 9.8 times 4.9. If you punch that, you have your answer as 96.04. To get the value of sine squared theta, I'll have to divide here by and divide here, divide this and divide this by 2025. Of course, this will cancel this. Divide this by 2025. And from here, you have that sine squared of theta is equal to 96.04 divided by 2025. You have your answer here as 0.047. Okay, approximately. Now we want to get the value of theta. Don't forget that sine squared theta simply means sine theta, this all squared. This is the meaning of sine squared theta. Sine theta all squared is equal to 0.047. Hence, to get the value of sine theta, I will take the square root of both sides. If I take square root of both sides, you have that the square root of sine theta all squared, this is equal to the square root of 0.047. This cancels this. So from here, you have that sine of theta is equal to, if I take the square root of 0.047, you have your answer as 0.217. You have this. So in essence, the value of the angle there, theta, would be equal to sine inverse. Of course, I'll take of sine inverse of 0.217. Let's do this. What do you have? You have that theta is equal to, so if I take sine inverse of 0.217, you have your answer of theta as 12.53 degrees. This is the value of theta. Now, having got the value of theta, we can now find t. Don't forget that we said t is simply the time it takes the particle or the arrow to move from this point B up to point C. And this is basically the time it takes the projectile to move from the maximum height up to the end point, that's C here. And we have a formula for that. The time it takes a particle to move from the maximum height to back to the plane of projectile, that's t, is equal to the formula for that time is given by t, and that's equal to u sine theta all over g. So you now see why we had to find the value of theta first, because we didn't have the value of theta. So we use the concept of maximum height to find the value of theta first, and then from there we can now find the time. All right, it takes the arrow to move from the maximum height back to the plane of projection. Let's impute value. This is equal to the value of u, which is initial velocity u. Let's see, the value of u is equal to 45. So basically this is equal to u is 45, then sine of the angle we already got as 12.53, 12.53, this all divided by g is 9.8, that's 9.8. Let's impute the values here. This is equal to, let's punch 45 sine 12.53. If you punch this, your value is about, if you do this, your value is about 9.8 approximately. Divide this by 9.8 and you have your answer as 1. All right. We are calculating for time, so it becomes 1 second. That's your unit, 1 second. So the value for this is about 1 second. All right. Let's check the option. Which of the options here is 1 second? Now going back to this, you can see that the option that is 1 second is option C. So option C here, 1 second is the correct answer. So basically, this is your first method of solving this question using the concept of projectile. All right. Assuming here, no, taking here to be your maximum height, because this was taken this way, that's your maximum height. And from this maximum height here, you can get the value of theta, which is the angle of project the angle here, basically this angle here, that's this one here. All right, so this is basically the value of theta here, which is 12.53 degrees. That's the value of theta. And with the value of theta, you can now find t, knowing fully well that the time it takes from B to C is given by u sine theta over g. And if you use that value, you now have your answer here, as you can see at this point, as 1 second. So basically, here's a first method to solving this question. We'll look at a second method, or a method 2, to solving this question in our next class. All right. All right, guys. So as usual, you can try number 9 for yourself. Number 9 says a boat can travel 4 km per hour in still water. Question 9 says a boat that can travel at 4 km per hour in still water crosses a river with a current of 2 km per hour. At what angle must the boat be pointed upstream to go straight across the river? So try to solve this question. Leave your answer in the comment section, and as usual, I will tell you if you're correct or not. All right. Okay, guys, so if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit the like button, like this video. Also, leave a comment. For your comment, I give you a task, I give you a question. Solve this question, leave your answer in the comment section, and I will tell you if you're correct or not. If you enjoyed this video, also tell us you enjoyed the video in the comment section. If you have any question on the method used, simply leave the question in the comment section and I'll give you a reply. Don't forget to also subscribe. If it's your first time here or you're yet to subscribe, please do all to subscribe, hit the bell icon and select all so that you get notified whenever we upload new content. Then finally, do all to share this video to your friends so that they can also learn. Thank you and see you in our next class.